Rassie Erasmus names his team for the second test match in Cape Town after that devastating loss that I had at Ellis Park last week. And obviously, it's gonna be another tough match, and we've got some changes in this team to face the All Blacks in Cape Town in the second test match of the greatest rivalry tour. Obviously, the front row is unchanged for the Springboks come this game. We've got Oxenchair, Malcolm Mark and Volker Low back once again. Obviously, they were the front row for the Springboks against the All Blacks at Ellis Park. And I thought they were brilliant in that first half, especially at Ellis Park with the scrummaging. And I do think they will have to be on point once again come this game in Cape Town against the front row of the All Blacks, whoever their friendly picks in that front row. But we all know they are big boys, Oxenchair and Volker, and they know how to handle the pressure at scrum time, and they will have to do the same come this game in Cape Town. Then, when we move on to the locks, we've got Epan Etsobev and Ruan Nortje back as the lock combination, and I thought they were also brilliant, also in that first half against the All Blacks at Ellis Park. We all know Ruan Nortje is good at line-out time, and he will have to give the Springboks some forward momentum when he carries the ball. He's got some good, strong carries of himself as well, and I do think he will cause some problems for the All Blacks in that number 5 jersey. Then, when we look at the loose trio, obviously we do have maybe a guy like Siya Kolisi coming back after his injury. They are still deciding on that, or we will have not Peter Steff, but Paul de Villiers. He will make his entry into the starting lineup. I thought he was also good at Ellis Park, and it's gonna be a matter if Siya Kolisi can start this game in Cape Town, but it's gonna be absolutely intense in that loose trio, I do think, between the matchups of the Springboks and the loose trio of the All Blacks. And then obviously in that number 7 jersey, we've got the captain Peter Stifter to if Siya Kolisi isn't available for this match. And then Jasper Wiese, we all know how good he was in that first match against the All Blacks. He was absolutely brilliant. He took the Springboks over the advantage line, and I thought he was the best player on the field for the Springboks at Ellis Park. He was absolutely good, and I do think he will cause some problems for a team like the All Blacks. Obviously, we've got some big boys up front here, and they know how to get the Springboks over the advantage line. We've got some changes in the backline for the Springboks in this game, in the second test match in Cape Town, and we've got Kobus Reinach making his start once again in that number 9 jersey. Obviously, we did see Grant Williams get the start at Ellis Park, and in comes Kobus Reinach, and he will have to be on point with his boot and with his box kicking throughout this game. He's got absolutely great attack on him as well. He knows how to find the gap as well for the Springboks. He's a fast guy, and he will be crucial in that number 9 jersey. And then the man that everybody is talking about, Andre Pollard, the Iceman, he's back once again. We all know what he can do with the boot. Obviously, Sasa is out of the starting lineup. He is on the bench for this game in Cape Town. But Andre Pollard, he will be crucial with the boot come this game. We all know he's got the great kicking boot on him, and he knows how to finish games for the Springboks, as we saw in the last couple of World Cups. And I do think he will be crucial for the Springboks in Cape Town. We've got the same midfield than what we saw at Ellis Park as well, and we've got the very experienced Damian de Allende and Jesse Kriel back into that center combinations for the Springboks in Cape Town. Obviously, Damian de Allende, he did play his 100th test match at Ellis Park, and what a career he has had over the years for the Springboks. He has been absolutely brilliant. He takes the Springboks over the advantage line, and he is absolutely a great player. He's a strong ball carrier as well, and he will be crucial for the Springboks in Cape Town. And then the man besides him, Jesse Kriel, he was absolutely good as well in the Nations Championship especially, and he will have to make his mark once again in Cape Town in that number 13 jersey. But guys, it's a good combination that Rassie has picked in the midfield for the Springboks. Then we've got some changes in the outside for the Springboks. We've got the return of Ivan Hooker. He comes in for Chesankopi. Obviously, Chesankopi, he did get the injury in the later stages of that second half at Ellis Park. Hopefully, he recovers quickly because he's gonna be needed for the Springboks. But Ivan Hooker, he's a great player as well. He's great under the high balls. He's fast as well, and he knows how to finish some good tries for the Springboks. And then the man who also got the head injury in that first half at Ellis Park. I was worried that he wasn't gonna play this weekend, but he's available. Curtly Arendse, he has been absolutely brilliant as well. He knows how to finish a good try as well for the Springboks. And then in that 15 jersey, the man himself, the man that was absolutely brilliant at Ellis Park. He was one of the players for the Springboks. He was good under the high ball as well. Damian Willems, he has been absolutely amazing in the last couple of months. He's been fighting his form as well, and I do think he will have to be on point once again from the back with his kicking boot as well for the Springboks in Cape Town. Obviously, he's playing in his home ground in Cape Town, and he has been absolutely brilliant for the Stormers and for the Springboks, and I do think he will have to make his mark for the Springboks in that 15 jersey. Guys, this is the starting lineup that Rassie Erasmus has chosen for the second test match in Cape Town, and I do think it's a good looking team that he has chosen. Players to look out for on the bench for the Springboks obviously are the return of Dion Fourie. How good has he been over his career? And he was absolutely brilliant for the Stormers in that first greatest rivalry tour match against the All Blacks. What a game that he have! And I have no doubt that he will leave his mark. He's a great ball fetcher as well, and I do think he will make his impact. And then we've got Gerard Steenekamp and Thomas du Toit. They will have to do their part as well at scrum time in that second half. They will make their impact as well. And then we've got the very good Andre Esterhuizen as well. He can play flank and he can play in the backline for the Springboks. And he takes the Springboks over that vantage line. He's a great strong ball carrier as well, and he can score some good tries for the Springboks. And then we've got the return of Monai van der Berg. He's absolutely brilliant so far for the Lions and for the Springboks in that number 9 jersey. Obviously, he will come off the bench this weekend in Cape Town, but I do think he's absolutely brilliant, and he has had a great Springbok career in the little few test matches that he has played. But I do think he will play a lot more in the future. And then we've got Sasa. Obviously, he's moved to the bench, and obviously Handré Pollard is starting. He will have to make his impact as well in that second half. But guys, what a strong 23 Rassie Erasmus has chosen for the second test match in Cape Town. I do think they've got what it takes to beat the All Blacks, but it's still going to be a tough match, and we will see later this week who Dave Rennie picks in his side for the second test match against the Springboks. But guys, tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you make of this 23 man team that Rassie Erasmus has chosen for the second test match? I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well for future greatest rivalry and Springbok content, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for your support, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.